Hey everybody, this is Scott from Lawrence Hypnotherapy and welcome back to day 8 of the Time Management Challenge. So by now, you guys should have had the central topic, your plan, your coded schedule, and today what we're talking about is a very specific style of plan. Basically how to build a 6-figure income by producing whether it's online courses or seminars and workshops, because they're a lot more profitable than the one-on-one stuff. So whether you're doing it from the stage or from the computer, I just want to show you an example of how it works. And I don't know if I'm more interested or excited about today's lesson or tomorrow's, because they're very kind of different from different energies. But before we get into the specifics, I want to take you into a bit of a philosophy of when it comes to visualizing. We've spent a lot of time on the energy of getting specific, getting it down, coding your energy, and using those tools. Now it's kind of about trust. Because your brain from the inside could either have this yes, I'll do it energy, or oh no, I'm overwhelmed, it's all too hard energy. And that's going to make a huge difference. Because whatever you keep visualizing is what you're going to have next. It's like the future of this big, unwritten, faceless entity. And you're designing it. There are no answers. You're developing the answer as you go. If that makes sense. So I just want to take you deeper into this philosophy of how to manifest what it is that you want. In a way that... it's a little bit more sciencey combined with, I suppose, the spiritually, kind of all together. But the power of ignorance. The chicken game. Don't look at this chicken. The idea is that you don't want to look at the middle of the chicken, because as soon as you do, you get to see what it says. Some things you need to not know. You need to not know at night when you're asleep how many leads you're getting. You need to be able to sleep instead. At some parts of the day, you need to not know certain things. You need to not know what people think about you sometimes, so that you can sort of be in that energetic, creative flow without worrying about everything, because this is the fastest way to get exhausted, is to know everything and to be a cog in the machine. You want the machine to run its cogs and to do its stuff. That's why follow this plan, this 6-week plan I've got, and use the power of ignorance to not have to know the entire plan at once. Just really serve the part of the plan that you're in. Get the coaching, do the plan, get the income, let it work. Stop resisting and it'll work for you. Or else it becomes was that video any good? Self-doubt, blah, 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 all these things. So let's get away from the chicken game and go into this philosophy of again, the power of ignorance. Remember with Wile E. Coyote. He could walk off a cliff in this cartoon. Most of you should be old enough to get this reference. The coyote, he could walk off that cliff. And as long as he didn't look down, he could keep walking. That's cartoon rules. I know in reality it's a little bit different, but this is a metaphor to kind of say that in business, sometimes you need to not look down, because that's when people tend to, when they overmeasure, they break. You need to not measure sometimes. You need to not keep clicking that refresh button every 2 seconds to see if a lead or a payment came through. You need to let go sometimes. Just kind of do the steps, give it your full energy, and then walk away. I want to show you how this works. So, you're into psychology. What new circuits will you build? So, dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, endorphins, adrenaline as well. These are hormones that sort of they program us. They make us react in the moment, but they also program us, because whatever hormones are getting released around whatever it is that we're doing in our life, the brain, the nervous system starts to go okay, I get your message, I get your hormone. This is what we're going to do. Because if you've got these nerve endings that are basically building, and these brain cells that fire together, wire together. So every time you kind of keep hitting the refresh button, expecting dopamine from I'm going to get a lead, and then you're you didn't get it. Or every time you open the fridge, you're I hope there's new food in there, and there's not new food in there. You need to sometimes be ignorant to these things in order to relax and let it go. And maybe just once or twice a day, check how many leads you got. Maybe just once or twice a day, check the letterbox. Maybe just once or twice a day, check your email inbox. But not every 2 seconds. Don't fuss. Don't worry about this stuff. Don't be on Facebook all day long. Do it. Be in the quadrant that you're in. Remember the 4 values. Are you going to be in flow? Are you going to be in energy? Are you going to be in alignment? Are you going to be in passion? Be in the part of code that you need to be in. Be in creative. Be in organization. Be in decision. Be in extrovert. And be ignorant to the other 3 temporarily, trusting that that's the other season. So for whatever your 4-hour block is, be in that, enjoy that, build that, forget the rest. If you're not doing sales, you're doing, I'm building a product, great, forget sales and just build a product. If you're doing sales and you're like, oh, I don't know if my product's good enough, forget if the product's good enough at the moment. You're doing sales. Be where you're at, ignorant to the rest, because there is a rhythm to this where sometimes you're doing the product, sometimes you're doing the sales. Leave the rest alone. Let it come up when it comes up. So this is a philosophy that is so important that before we get into the 6-week plan, I really want to get into this. Have you ever heard of celebrity heads? You know, like there's Mickey Mouse, Madonna, and Superman. So like what happens is that you write something on a piece of paper and people stick it to their heads. They don't know what this name is, and so they get to ask questions. Yes, no, you know, am I male? Yes. Am I dead? No. Am I something, you know, like, am I Australian? Am I English? Am I American? And then all answers are just yes or no. Now, when it comes to like money, health, and relationships, you're kind of like this person with this sticker on your head going, am I getting closer? Am I getting further away? Yes or no? The funny thing is that there are no answers, only outcomes. So imagine these 3 things are blank. The thing is, like, you're building this future. There is no correct answer. You're building it. And that's why you need to trust it, because if you keep checking to see are you correct or not, then it's actually going to destroy your mood and action. It's like that when you're on a sales call, oh, am I doing the sales call right? If you're doing the therapy, oh, am I doing this therapy right? The frameworks are there for you to use. The frameworks aren't stuck to your head in order for you to basically be trapped by them. They're your tools. You get to use them. There are no answers. There are no correct answers. There's only outcomes. Did it work? Did it not work? You learn as you go. So what I want you to do is pretend that these are blank, but you're still asking the questions, but you're designing what this is going to say by the end. Does that make sense? So this is like, I just want you to imagine this. Imagine this person right here, the one with Mickey Mouse. Imagine it's blank. And you have in front of you a piece of paper that says yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, and a whole bunch of like yeses, yes, yes, no, 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 yes, yes, no. You've just got a whole bunch of yeses and no in order. Let's say you've got 100 yeses and no's there, and this person doesn't know that there's nothing written on her forehead, and you've got all these yeses and no's. Then she starts asking questions. Eventually, she's going to guess a celebrity. Now, who actually picked the celebrity? Was it your list that has the yeses and no's on it, or was it her for asking the questions? The answer is it was a joint venture. Because if you had a different order of yeses and no's, she would have come up with a different answer. So like if you say, am I a cartoon? And you say yes, she might start asking, you know, am I Daffy Duck? Am I Mickey Mouse or something? But if you said no, she'd be like, all right, am I Oprah? Am I Anthony Robbins? Am I somebody else? So the idea, like, this is like a weird concept, but there are no right answers in this game. This thing on your forehead is blank. You're not getting it right or wrong. This thing on your forehead is blank. And you need to have the faith to keep moving forward, knowing that there will be an answer at the end, there'll be an outcome. But you're not right or wrong. There's just an outcome. So when you move towards money, health, and relationships, in order for you to play with the big numbers, in order for you to get the big results, this is where you need some ignorance. You need to be educated in the areas that you want to be educated in to do the work that you're doing at the time you're doing. But all those worries and concerns, you want to be ignorant to those worries and concerns. Let go. Let go. Stop resisting. Let the momentum build, because it's organic. Like a seed that's planted in the ground doesn't ask, oh, is this right? Is this wrong? There's no right or wrong answer. There's only outcomes. It's going to turn into a tree. So it just keeps growing and growing. I want you just to keep growing in money, health, and relationships. But don't be obsessed about are you right or wrong. I hope that makes sense. Because the way that it works, this whole quantum century manifestation, this is a quote that I've come up with for you, that nature wants you to plant the seed and walk away. I'll just say it again. Nature wants you to plant the seed and then walk away. Put out your sales offer, then walk away. Stop watching it. People can't buy from you while you're watching your ad. Check it tomorrow. Don't check it 50 times today or tonight. Build your course, put it out there, let people use it. And walk away. Let them make of it what they will. Make your second version even better. But just for the first version, just kind of like walk away and let it have enough time for that seed to kind of do its thing. Trust people that, people are pretty smart. If you become the cog in the machine all the time, then you're going to get exhausted over and over and over. So nature wants you to plant the seed and walk away. So with those energies I was talking about, with those values, so do you remember like the one that's basically, just to zoom out again, flow. So it's about together, and it's about being active. Spend time active together, and then once you're done with the 4 hours, walk away. Give your 4 hours. Do the best possible 4 hours you can do, and then walk away. Leave them alone. The next one. So this one is really energy. So it's active, alone. It's creativity. Spend time active alone, and then walk away. So this could be 4 hours, write an ebook, 4 hours, write a script, 4 hours, come up with some content, 4 hours, do a framework, and then walk away. So this is the same as code. The next one. So this one is alignment. It's about together, receptive. So this one's about decisions. Spend time passive together, then walk away. So this is basically to do with, or receptive together, then walk away. This one's about decisions. Make the decision, and then don't change it. Set the date of your event, and then don't change it. Decide on your price that you're going to do, and then don't change it. This is what people do. They keep changing it. It's confusing to people. They're like, oh, this person hasn't even decided what their price is. Last week it was $30. This week it's $5,000. Next week it's $1,200. Then it's $7. Like, what? Make a decision and then walk away. And then the last of the energies. I'm hoping this is making sense, because this is like some kind of metaphorical stuff. The passion. So this is like the organization, the admin stuff. Spend time passive alone, then walk away. Alone, receptive. Or spend time receptive alone, then walk away. Do kind of like the housekeeping. Do the shopping. Make sure you've got enough supplies in your office. Answer the emails. Just like these little jobs. Pay the bills. Do your bookkeeping. And then walk away. Does that make sense? So you've got these 4 different energies. And then eventually you walk away. Alright, so I just want you to look at that big picture thing of this again. Active, receptive, together and alone. 4 hours, 4 hours, 4 hours, 4 hours. This is code. Do your 4 hours, and then whatever you achieved, then walk away. I hope that makes sense. Now this part that we're getting into, here we go. This is a 6-week plan. It's all there right on the screen. It's a bit complex. That's why I wanted to show you that thing first of like, do your thing and then walk away. Do your thing and then walk away. Then come back to it. So we've got, if you're producing an online course, let's say you want to produce at least $100,000 or $200,000 a year or $300,000 or whatever. Week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're your weeks. You've got these 3 groups on Facebook. So there's a free Facebook group. Then you create a cheap Facebook group. That's what this one is. Then the third one is the high-ticket Facebook group. This can all be done over 6 weeks, but this is like when you're in full swing of things. So if you want to know how do I get the whole business to work together, building online courses, do this every 6 weeks and you will run like clockwork. But it's complex, so I want you to stay with me. I want you to rewatch this if you have to. But the thing is, like, if you're in doubt about how all this works, just do the steps and then walk away. Week 1 and 2, you're just doing this column. The funny thing, though, is that you're doing things in 3 groups. It looks funny down here because it says week 5 and 6, and then it goes to week 1, 2, then week 3, 4, and then 5, 6. There's a reason that that it works that way, because you're kind of going. You start. I'll show you. For the online course, week 1 and 2, you start with your free Facebook group. Then, if you don't know what Atsto is, you've got to come and ask. You've got to get the ebook off me. There's a course that we're selling only to 3 people, an online software that will basically come up with your sales copy for you as you write. You just basically answer questions. Philip's come up with this brand new software which is incredible, which basically tells you exactly what to say in all of your marketing. It is just that nuts, crazy good, and it's only going to be available as part of the $5,000 course later. But we've got 3 spots at the moment that we just want 3 people to use this and to make money and then to move to the other side, to do it and walk away and trust in just putting it out there and then leaving it alone. So it was only I think it was the $197 for 6 weeks that we're doing, which is ridiculously cheap considering what this is. That it's your marketing basically sorted. So it's like a software that shows you exactly what to do. So AdSto, this is an acronym of what to say on Facebook. So if I do a Facebook Live, I first get attention, that's the A, then I talk about my topic. There's the story, the teach, and the offer. That's covered in the software as well. But ask us for the ebook that explains it and shows you how we've made like all of our money and all of our leads using Facebook videos. So this Facebook video sends people to a web page with another video. There's the indoctrination video. So you do like a Facebook video to your indoctrination, you do a Facebook video to your Mythbuster video. The indoctrination is where the first time people ever get to see you, they need to know kind of like what your topic is and what your basics are. Because once people get advanced in their marketing, they kind of forget to have like an indoctrination video just to talk about what your basics are. And then you do a Facebook video to the Mythbuster, which is, let's say, 10 things your market believe which are false. You want to sort of sort that out without you having to put in the heavy lifting. So let the video do the heavy lifting. Then you do a Facebook AdSto video, attention, topic, story, teach, offer, to inviting them to type I'm in to get a case study video from you, and then a Facebook video that offers an ebook. At the same time, you email them a link to these. So as you're collecting email addresses through all of these videos, you're then re-emailing people to watch the next one and the next one. PASPA is part of the email marketing formula, which is what you actually write in your sales copy. It's what you write in your emails. So it's the problem, aggravate the problem, solve, proof, and action. And so that's like in the software, it's going to be really, really, I'm so excited for like, when people take those 3 spots, because it's only 3. Once you've got that, so week 3 and 4, in your free group, so you've got a Facebook group, this time, so you do your AdSto or you do your attention, topic, story, teach, offer, you do that, Facebook video, sending them to a sales offer for your cheap group. And it's only like 5 to 20 spots available, and you charge between $200 to $1,200. You also email them with the same offer. So you email them to the same page. So this is one page, and you're doing a Facebook live video and an email to this sales offer page that the software shows you exactly how to do. So you offer 5 to 20 spots only. Maybe start with 5 and I actually recommend that you start with 5 at $200, just so you get the hang of getting an extra grand, but just filling 5 spots so you don't have the pressure for 20 at $1,200. So what you've had so far was, for 2 weeks, you taught people things for free. You built trust and you built your database. And then, for another 2 weeks, week 3 and 4, you then started to sell people into a cheap group, just a cheap challenge. Then, week 5 and 6 in the same free group, you just put out polls, as in you may have seen it in our addiction group, polls, when you start asking questions and people can vote. So polls could be like with the depression stuff that we did recently. We put out a poll and said, do you want time management, or do you want this, do you want that, do you want that? And people said depression, out of anxiety, insomnia and all those things. People said, I want a depression seminar. So that gave us our market research. Then we did one on, do you want time management, or do you this, and that? And people chose time management, and that's how this group came about. And then we filled 10 spots really fast. Quotes is where you just get people engaging in your group, and you basically say something that's sort of really cool in alignment with what you believe. So let me go through those 6 weeks again for your free group. So you have like a whole 2 weeks in your free group. You've got week 1 and 2 to basically just do a few Facebook videos just to get people to type I'm in, that sends them to another web page, which gives them a free video indoctrination, a free video of the Mythbuster, a free video of the case study, and a free ebook. Then people really trust you, they've been following you for a while. Then for the next 2 weeks, they join your challenge, and you make some money off that. And then for the next 2 weeks, you just Very, very little effort, very little going on in that group at all. Maybe 1 or 2 polls for 2 weeks, maybe 1 poll a week, and maybe 1 or 2 quotes a week, just so that people stay engaged. Then you've got your second group, the cheap group. Now that you've sold people into your group, because on week 1 and 2, remember you were giving away free content, and so we'll come back to week 1 and 2 there for a bit, because I just want you to see how week 3 and 4 you did a sales offer. I'll come back to that one. Week 5 and 6. Let's start at week 5 and 6, because what's happened is that here it is. Week 3 and 4, you made a sales offer to the cheap group, and then week 5 and 6 is when people are actually starting to join the program. So in week 1 and 2, up here, week 5 and 6 in your calendar is actually 2 weeks of training that you just sold for, let's say, $200 to 5 people. So you've made $1,000, you've had 5 people in this group, and so you deliver this training for 2 weeks. And then, after they've done week 1 and 2, you're back to your week 1 and 2 now. Now this is where you start delivering Facebook videos and emails to a sales offer to the 5 to 20 people in your group, and you start advertising 5 spots at $5,000. And then week 3 and 4, downsells for a cheaper program for anyone who didn't buy the expensive one, and catch up time for anyone who didn't finish week 1 and 2. So now they've had like 6 weeks to catch up, so you've like cleared that group out a little bit before the next round comes in. And then the high ticket Facebook group, this is people pay $5,000 to get into this one. So week 1 and 2, you've actually just like, you're finishing up your previous round. So if you haven't sold one of these yet, you do nothing on week 1 or 2 in this group. But then week 3 and 4, that's when you actually start week 1 and 2 for your $5,000 product. So it's a 6-week, $5,000 course that you sell. Because over here, in week 1 and 2, you did a sales offer for 5 spots of $5,000, so that's $25,000. And then you deliver your product, you give them week 1 and 2. And then on your 5th and 6th week, you do week 3 and 4. So I just want you to look at this whole thing, because I know like where it says like there's different weeks here and different weeks here, it can get confusing. So week 1 and 2 is your 1st and 2nd week. Week 3 and 4 is your 3rd and 4th week. Week 5 and 6 is your 5th and 6th week. Down here is just what you're doing in different groups. So in your first week, you're finishing up your $5,000 program for people who bought it. You're selling spots to the new group so that you can start week 1 and 2 on the next weeks. And you're doing maybe like 1 Facebook live video a day or 1 every 2 days to give away free value to people in your free group. On your next 2 weeks, you're selling a very cheap program to get people into your second group so you can start week 1 and 2 at your 5th and 6th week. And then you're also then at that same time, week 3 and 4, not only you're doing those sales, which is just a few emails and a few sales videos on Facebook. The cheap group, you maybe do a downsell and maybe some catch up. But you're also starting a brand new group for $5,000. So you're doing your introductions, you're getting to know people, like you're getting to know what their goals are in the group. And for that week 3 and 4, you just do these 3 columns. So you're just like doing a sales pitch here, tiny sales pitch here, and letting these people catch up, and then you're starting a brand new program for people. And then week 5 and 6, very minimum activity in your free Facebook group, just polls and quotes. You're starting a brand new cheap group, and you're getting into the main content week 3 and 4 of the expensive group. I know there's a lot of information, but because it's all there on one page, you can kind of see that, like, remember like when I was saying do the work and then let it go? If it didn't all make sense, just imagine that if you just start here and go, in week 1 and 2, if you want to make the big money, basically just do this column. You won't be doing anything here for the first time because you've got nothing there to do. You won't be doing anything here on the first time because you haven't sold anything here yet. So on the first week, if you want to start doing this, all you've got to do is this on the first week 1 and 2. On week 3 and 4, then you basically do all of this. You do some sales work, and there's nothing else to do because you haven't sold any other groups yet. And then on week 5 and 6, just some polls and quotes, which is almost no work, and the only other thing you've got to do is just deliver week 1 and 2 of the thing you've sold. Then the second time round, you're back to your free group, giving more free information. But now in the cheap group, you're starting to make some $5,000 sales, and you've got nothing to do down here yet because you haven't sold a more expensive product yet. The next week 3 or 4, you sell maybe 5 to 20 spots at 200 to 1,200. Maybe then some catch up and some down sells. And now because you've already then sold some spots here, now this is your very first round of week 1 or 2 down there. And then your next one, you do all 3. So I hope that helps. Ask questions on this stuff. I would like to see in this group who is the first one who can take all of this and code it. Remember, like creative, organization, decisions, and extrovert. This is complex stuff for a lot of money. So if you're really going to make this your life's work, this is what it looks like when you're at full speed. I don't expect it to look like this for you the first time you're doing it because this is complex stuff. But again, thanks so much for being part of this time management course. That's why I wanted to show you like the energies of like just do it and walk away, do it and walk away. Because do you reckon that this is pretty hard for anyone to fit in their head all at one go? Of course, this is hard to fit in your head in one go. That's why it needs to be written down, if that makes sense. Like, if this is your life's work, if you want to get your work out there and sell it, you need to do things like where it says week 1, 2, here, week 1, 2, week 3, 4, week 5, 6, you're giving away what you've sold to the people who bought it. Where it says sales offer here and sales offer there, you're doing another part of your business, which is like you're making sales. Down here, down sells, you're making sales. And then this stuff, the Indoctrination, Mythbuster case study and ebook, the catch-up and the polls and quotes, is all just kind of basically some building traffic and building trust. So this is hard. This is very competitive. And so that's why like I want to coach you through this over a year, because it takes a while to really get into the swing of things. But once you've got it up and running, it doesn't take very much energy at all. So you can run this 8 times a year for 6 weeks and then have a month off, and you will love it because it becomes so intuitive to you after a while, like how to run these things. Once, like with this video right here, right? Once I've filmed this video once, I don't need to film this video again. So last year we produced a group. We sold it for $750. We'd get 5 people in a go, and then from there we upsold to people who spent $3,500. Before that, we were selling just direct, ringing up people and selling them $5,000 courses. But once we had that $750 group going, I didn't need to build any new content the first time I did it. on the second time that I did it. Because the first time I had to build it. The second time, I was just doing some Facebook Lives. Just like this time management course, now that the videos are done, as I take the second group through this challenge, I don't need to build these videos again. I just have to go, hey, on a Facebook Live, hey everyone, type I'm in to get today's training. If that makes sense, it saves me a lot of energy. So I can be E for extrovert by doing a Facebook Live telling people, hey, come and get your training. So as I'm running weeks 1 and 2, I'm just doing a Facebook Live saying like, hey, come and type I'm in for the training. I don't even have to do much. And then all I have to do is like, as some of you ask questions, literally all I'm doing is just like typing back to you on my phone, just maybe at home or in the lounge room or something, at the times that I've dedicated to answer questions. And I'm just answering some questions. It's really very low stress. It's very kind of like flexible. I can do it whenever I want. So this is the dream, like getting so much money to kind of just do exactly what I want, build videos once and never have to build them again. And then people go, wow, how do you learn all this stuff? How have you done? It's like that. It's not hard, but I just want to take you back up through, you've got to visualize yourself as successful. The power of ignorance, the chicken game, don't look at the chicken. You need to not pay attention to the things that are not important this week, because your brain doesn't want you to pay attention to everything at once. So when I'm talking about the power of ignorance, the only way you can survive this complexity during week 1 and 2, because on the very first time you do this, you're not going to have this group, you're not going to have that group, you're just going to have this very first group. Week 1 and 2, be ignorant to every square except for this one. So let's zoom in on that one. So the ATSTO, you basically, to begin with, this is how we run a 2-week challenge with people in another group, is that we get you to fill out the script for your indoctrination. Once your script's been emailed to you, so like there's this software we've got where you basically just answer some questions. Once you've filled out your questions, it emails you with a script for the indoctrination. And on that day, you just film the indoctrination. Then you fill out an online questionnaire about like the Mythbuster, and then it emails you your script, and then the next day, you just film your Mythbuster video. We've done ours in the park on our phones. The case study, again, like you just fill out the online program, you type in the answers to the question, and then the ebook, you just write a short ebook, maybe 5 to 10 pages. And then my brother actually builds the web pages for you for all these things. So he's kind of like, he's doing all this for you, helping you with the ebook cover, he's helping you with the web page by building it for you, helping you with your headlines. And then we also then have an online software which asks you questions about what this script is going to be. So by the time all 4 of these pages are done, you'll never need to do them again. Now all you do for 2 weeks, once every 6, is you just do a Facebook Live video in the park, and you schedule an email. So when you do a Facebook Live video in the park, and I like say, oh, hey everyone, this is Scott from Lawrence Hypnotherapy. If you're a hypnotherapist and you're like into NLP, into like, psychology, or you're a hypnotherapist or an expert of some kind, or you might say, if you're someone who has anxiety or depression, and you want to cure and you want to get better, let me give you a free video that's going to help you with this. And in that free video, you're going to find out exactly how I got my success in helping people with anxiety and depression or insomnia, and we're going to give you a framework how you can do it yourself. Just type I'm in to get it. And then they type I'm in, they watch it, and then your database gets bigger. And then they watch your Mythbuster, like it's like, say, if I do the ATSTO again, the Facebook video. Hey everyone, this is Scott from Lawrence Hypnotherapy, and today I want to talk to you about the 3 biggest myths that stop people from getting to sleep at night. And then I tell a bit of a story about it, I teach the 3 myths, then the offer is to get them to watch then the Mythbuster video. Type I'm in to get the 10 myths to find out exactly how you can get to sleep better. And then if I do a case study, it could be about a person who got to sleep better by using these techniques. And then an ebook on how to get to sleep better. But I always do a Facebook Live video and an email to get people there. So I'm going to kind of leave the video there because this is a lot of information. You have time to get this right. You just want to start now, do the work, join the course, and then once you've done the work, walk away for a bit and just don't get so hung up on like, am I going to do well or not? Just do the work and have some trust, because you'll see there's other people in this group that are going, yay, this stuff really works. But it's complex. That's why we're helping you to have this time management course to break it down. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be amazing. We're going to talk about how to do it all without using up too much energy. I'll talk to you soon.